Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the next session on our subject. We called it as Engineering Economics, Estimation and the Costing. Now, previously, we have studied the part of what is meant by the word estimate. What are the different types of estimate? What are the roles and responsibilities being played by the estimator? Okay, that is the quantity survey he might be. Then what are the qualities that a good estimator should have? That part also we have covered up, and we have started our discussion on the specifications. Okay, I think that part we have started in our previous session. So what is the specifications? Again, I will explain the definition for everyone. So specification is what? It is nothing but the detailed description of your activity. Whatever the construction activity you are going to perform, whenever you are going to work on the site, it might be your excavation, it might be you are doing some PCC work, you are doing footing work, you are doing centering work, you are doing shuttering work, you are painting, you are doing plastering work. So whatever the category of the work you are going to perform, you are going to explain that particular activity or that particular item in your own language. Okay, that is nothing but the specifications. So specifications is nothing but the detailed description. Once again, I will repeat the definition for you. It is nothing but the detailed description of an activity. Okay, we have started this discussion. Then meaning and purpose of the specification, again, we have discussed it in detail. The cost of unit quantity of work is governed only by its specifications. Okay, so you have started your project. It might be a G+1, G+10, whatever it may be, the project like. Okay, you have started your project and you don't know the exact cost, or it might be the approximate estimate you are interested to know about. So how we are going to know about the estimate? So this will be the exact amount that is required. So what you are going to do, you are going to refer the specifications for which are mentioned in your estimate. Okay, so when you are going to prepare the estimate, you have to mention the specifications of the material. It might be of the material, or it may be for your particular activity like excavation, then PCC, whatever it may be. Or it may be for your material also, like doors, windows, painting material, plastering material, whatever you are going to do it. Okay, so for knowing the cost of the work, it might be the total whole project cost, you must have the knowledge about the specifications or how the specifications are applicable in case of your estimate. Then the necessity of specification is used to verify and to check the strength of the materials which is involved in a project. So whether you are using a river sand, you are using the M sand, it might be your cement, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, whatever the type of material that you are using, to check the quality or to check the strength of that particular material, you must have the specifications with you, because you will take the help of all the specifications, all the explanation which is given. Okay, and then you can judge or you can define the strength of that particular material, or it might be the particular quality of that particular material. Okay, so these specifications are very much important, very much necessary just to understand the strength of the materials whichever we are using for our project. Okay, and again, the last but not the least, the specification is the very essential contract document which is required. It will help you in court cases also. So might be maybe you have assigned the work to one of the engineer, or it may it may be the contractor, developer, builder, and during the time of contract he has mentioned that he is going to use the OPC 53 grade of cement, but now at actual he is using OPC 43 grade of cement. He is using OPC 43 grade of cement. So does it work? No. It is nothing but the illegal practice. Okay, he is not going to follow the rules and regulations. He is not following the contract actually. So again, if you want to take him to the court, you have the specifications in your hand, and based on that, you can take him to the court. There might be the case of arbitration, like the dispute between the landowner, that is dispute related to any of the structure. Again, the specification is necessary to specify the equipment like tools, plants, which are engaged for your work, and enables to procure them beforehand. Okay, so just to know about which type of instrument we require, which type of material we require, which type of plants we require, just to perform the activity. It might be excavation activity where using the JCBs, or it might be the rolling and compaction of the road surface. We are using the rollers. Okay. So again, if you are mentioning that you are using the rollers, you have to explain the characteristic. Okay. Like the roller is of 13 ton, or it might be of 10 ton, 8 tons. It will fly from this distance to this distance. Maybe you have to roll the surface 10 times, 12 times, 15 times. Again, I have asked you the question on this particular part in my previous session also. So specifications, again, it is very necessary to specify the equipment, tools and plants which are engaged for that particular work. Okay, which are engaged for that particular work. Next, principles which are involved in the specifications. Again, we have discussed this part. I think introductory part we have completed. That is, what is the first principle is nothing but the description of the material. If any material you are using, it might be cement, it is your coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, steel, it may be the paint, whatever the material you are using on the site, you can describe that particular material, the quality and the size of the materials which is required to, which is engaged in that particular construction activity. You can decide the specifications for the same. What specifications? Again, the detailed description of the activity, how it is. Again, I am going to explain in our today's session. That is nothing but state schedule of rates, the very important part. So dear students, if any of your friend hasn't joined the session, please ask them or ask her to join the session immediately, because in our today's session, we are going to learn very important concept, or that we called it as state schedule of rates, SSR. Okay, this is for this academic, this particular year, that is 21-22. I am going to explain it for you. Okay, the next principle is regarding the workmanship. Okay, workmanship, that is what kind of workmanship you are going to follow. It might be the latest machines you are using. It might be the skilled laborers, unskilled laborers. Okay, it might be the method of laying. It might be the preparation of base, sub-base, or whatever the methodologies basically you are following. Okay, and for that methodologies, which technique you are using or which method you are using. Suppose you are doing painting work. So is there any method you are following for the painting work, or you are designing the RCC element, structural element? It is your maybe column, beam, or the slab. Okay, so for this particular column, which design philosophy you are using? You are using the column design. You are going to design the column or design the slab or design the beam as per IS 456-2000 by using different clauses which are mentioned in that particular IS code. So which methodology you are using, whether it's a limit state method or working state method. Suppose in case of steel design, you are using IS 800-2007 or IS 875 to different parts, that is for dead load, live load, and wing load. So which methodology, which design philosophy you are using, you have to mention at least some parts related to that. And that will, again, one of the principle of our specifications. Okay, you will come to know about the design philosophy in your design. Then tools and the plants. The tools and the plants which are engaged to carry out that particular work. Okay, again, that explanation is there in your specifications. Protection of the new work, as I told you in my previous session also. You are doing something, you are constructing one of the, it might be apartment or a road, okay, in the busy street of the city. So if you are constructing in the busy street, you have to protect the surrounding area. Suppose you are constructing a road midway between in your city, in the busy street of in the busy area of your city. Okay, so definitely you have to give the protection to your site, so that no vehicle, it might be two-wheeler, three-wheeler, no vehicle is going to get down into that particular whatever the excavated part we have done. Okay, is not going to get in that particular part. Expressions. Okay, so writing the specifications shall be made to express the requirements clearly. Read this. This is very important principle of the specification. Expressions. What expression will indicate? It is nothing but the requirement of specific, or to express the requirement of specification very clearly and concise. Very clearly and concise, avoiding the repetition and unusual words. Okay. Then clauses, there are so many different clauses which are mentioned. Now the next and very important part is regarding the types of specification. So dear students, please remember, we are having only two important types. First one, we called it as the general specifications. Second one, we called it as the detailed specification. Now in one line, we will describe this, what is the general specification and what is detail. Please try to understand. If you find it difficulty, please raise your hand or you can unmute yourself. The forum is open for everyone. So what are the general specifications? Okay. So in the general specifications, the nature, class of the work and the names of the materials which we are using are described. Very important. This general specification, what does it indicate or what does it going to reflect? In general specifications, the nature and class of the work, name of the material. Please again read it very carefully. In general specification, nature, class of the work and the names of the material are described. Okay, are described. Okay, so this description of each and every item is given. It is useful for estimation of the projects. Generally, the general specification do not form a part of your contract document. Your general specifications do not form the part of your contract document. Now, in our previous question papers, okay, hopefully you have the online and offline examination very soon. Okay, so if you have the offline examination very soon, then we are having one question for 4 marks. That is the difference between the general specifications and the detailed specifications. Okay, so at least you know the difference, basic difference between these two specifications. What is the basic difference? Your general specification is only going to indicate the nature, class, and the name of material. Okay, nature of the work or the class of the work and the name of material. Suppose building. So residential building you are constructing. In the residential building, you are using cement. Okay, type name of the material. That's it. And this general specification do not form the part of contract document. This is very important. Again, difference as you can see. Now, as far as our detailed specification is considered, so detailed specifications forms the part of contract document. Forms the part of contract document. So this is the basic difference. General specification do not form the part of contract document, but detailed specifications are part of the contract document. Now, what these detailed specifications will specify us? So these detailed specifications will specify the qualities, quantities, and proportion of the materials and the method of preparation, excavation, and the execution of a particular item of the work in the project. So this is again the difference between general and detailed specification. In general, we are having just the nature or the class of the work, or we know just the name of the material which we are using. But in case of detailed specification, we will actually specify the qualities, quantities, and the proportion of the material. So how can you just differ it? General specification and detail. Chalo, I will give a very simple example for your understanding. Okay. In one of the project, cement is my material. What? Cement is my material. So I have just written on one page, residential building, construction material is cement. Okay, only 2 words. Okay, on first page. On the second page, what I have mentioned, I am going to start one of the residential project. It might be G+1. Okay, located in XYZ region. Okay, which is across a river, XYZ river, in this particular area. So for this construction activity, I'm using cement, which is of OPC 53 grade, OPC 53 grade of Ultratech cement, or it might be of ACC cement, having the initial setting time, having the specific gravity 3.15, having the compressive strength as 53 MPa. Okay, so what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to specify the qualities, the quantities, and the proportion of the material. Okay, if you get it, what I'm trying to say. In general specification, what I have mentioned, one line, a residential building, type of construction material is cement. While in the detailed specification, what I have noted, what I have written down, it's a residential building which is constructed in XYZ area, and in the residential construction, we are using the cement that is of OPC 53 grade of Ultratech cement, having this physical quantities. So what I'm trying to do? In general specification, I have just referred, or I have just specified the name and the nature of the material. While in detail specification, I have specified the all qualities, the quantities, the proportion of the material. It might be the methodology that you are going to use. Okay, so detail specifications are details, very simple to understand. In detail, we are going to specify that activity. Why I'm keeping the focus on these 2 points very much. Okay, because you must know the basic difference between the general specification and detail specification. So general specification, ultimately, it is not going to be the part of your contract document, as we are only mentioning the nature and the name of the material. While in detailed specifications, we are mentioning the qualities, quantities, method of execution, proportion, and all that particular things which are associated with your construction activity. Okay, so that is why the detailed specifications are very much important. Okay, and that are the mandatory for part of your estimate. The detailed specifications of the different items of the work are prepared separately, and they describe what the work should be. Okay, as I told you, excavation, I'm doing the excavation. So what area, for which area I'm doing the excavation, for how much area I'm doing the excavation. Suppose it's a 10 meter square area having the depth up to 5 meters, and I'm using the JCB or I'm using XYZ instrument. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to explain that activity, excavation. So the detailed specifications of the different items of the works are prepared separately, first and foremost important. They are prepared separately, and they describe what the work should be. They will describe what the work should be and how that work should get executed. Okay, how the work should get executed. Now, next important point writing the detailed specification is writing the detailed specification. The same order of sequence of as the work to be carried out is maintained. Okay, so hope you understand this. Are you getting the basic difference between the general specification and the detailed specification? Please respond. Do respond in the chat box whether you are getting or not, or shall I repeat once again for everyone? Yes or no, whether you are getting. समझ क्या basic difference है? Okay, Pranav, Abhidi. Okay, Pragati says repeat. Okay, repeat one shot. Okay, very good. I am expecting such a response so that I will come to know whether you are getting or not. Again, in simplest manner, I will try to explain it. In general specification, I am just highlighting the title. Okay, I'm just highlighting the title. Okay, I will give very interesting example how to understand the general specification of the movie. Let's take there is one movie XYZ. Okay, and hero might be Salman Khan and XYZ. Okay, heroine, there is one villain, might be Shakti Kapoor. Okay, so you know the title of the movie. You know the title of the movie. You know who is the hero of that movie. You know who is the heroine of that movie. You know who is the villain of the movie. Okay, that is okay. If the picture is not released. Okay, so only the title, only knowing the name of hero and heroine or the villain, what is it going to reflect? It is just describing with the general specifications. We know the nature, we know the class, we know the names of the material. Okay, just related with our construction sector. Right? This is just for your understanding purpose. Okay, but when you are going to watch the movie, you will actually come to know what role Salman Khan has played in that movie, what role that villain has played in that movie, what role being played by that heroine of that movie. Okay, you know in detail about that movie. Okay, you know the title, you know the music composer, you know the songs, everything you will come to know whenever you are going to go in detail about it. Correct? So detailed specifications. Okay, the movie before releasing, you just know the title, but you don't know the story behind it. Okay, after releasing, if you are going to see, if you have seen that movie, then you will come to know the details about that movie. So likewise, in your general specifications will specify only the name and the nature of the work. It is residential construction, cement you are using, steel you are using, sand you are using. Okay. Detail specification, what does it indicate? Residential building constructed in XYZ area. For the construction of the residential building, we are having the plan which is approved by the town planning department. It's a G+5 structure For this construction work, we are using cement of OPC 53 grade, which is being provided by the Ultratech cement, or we are using brick plaster, we are using plastering material, everything. Okay, previously we just know, yes, it's a residential building and we are using cement. But now we know the details, we know the quality, quantity, proportion of the material. Just read this sentence carefully. In general specification, nature, class, and names are described. In detail specification, qualities, quantities, and proportion of the material, along with the method of preparation and execution is mentioned. Now you get the difference. Those who told me to repeat this, Snehal Chormale, then Pragati, are you getting now? So still there is any confusion in your mind? Okay, good. Chalo, let's then move ahead. Chalo. So example of specification. Okay. So as I told you, we have to explain it. Now the best example is RCC work. Chalo. At one of the construction site, I'm doing the RCC. At one of the construction site, I'm doing the RCC. So how I'm going to explain? Shuttering shall be done using the seasoned wooden bricks of thickness not less than 30 mm. बघा मला आरसीसी काम करायचं आहे. आरसीसी साठी मी आधी शटरिंग करतोय. कुठल्या असू द्या, स्लॅब, बीम, काय जे असेल तुमचं मटेरियल. मग मला शटरिंग करायचं आहे. आरसीसी कॉन्क्रीट टाकायचं म्हणल्यावर मला आधी त्याला शटरिंग प्रोव्हाइड करावे लागणार आहे. बरोबर आहे ना. वुडन फोमवर्क ज्याला म्हटलं जातं. नाही, फोमवर्क प्रोव्हाइड करण्यासाठी तुम्ही त्या वुडन प्लेट्स फिक्स करता. कॉलम असेल, बीम असेल, वुडन प्लेट्स फिक्स करता आणि मग तो जो साचा असतो त्या इन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर foam work, you are going to place your concrete, you are going to pour your concrete, correct? So what thickness of that wooden plates? So in this RCC, one example is shuttering shall be done with the seasoned wood boards. See, they have mentioned the quality of the wood board. It's a seasoned wood board of thickness not less than 30 mm. Then surface contact with the concrete shall be free from adhering the grout, nail splits, and other defects. Okay. We are having very plain surface whenever you are going to do the concrete. Okay, so whatever the formwork you have placed, the inner side of the formwork should be very smooth. It is free from all the defects. Okay, all the joints should be perfectly closed and lined up. If there is any gap, एक कॉलम तुम्हाला कास्ट करायचा आहे आणि कॉलम कास्ट करत असताना जे तुम्ही प्लेट्स फिक्स केलेल्या होत्या, ठीक आहे, त्यातल्या दोन प्लेट ज्या कनेक्ट आहेत एकमेकांना राईट अँगल डायरेक्शन 90 डिग्री मध्ये ज्या एकमेकांना कनेक्टेड आहे. सपोज देयर इज एनी काइंड ऑफ देयर इज व्हेरी स्मॉल गॅप बिटवीन दीज टू प्लेट्स. सी द हँड एक्सप्रेशन्स विच आय एम डूइंग इन माय व्हिडिओ. ओके, प्लीज पिन टू माय व्हिडिओ. सो if you see there is any kind of gap between these two plates, what will happen? Yes, definitely concrete will run through. That water which is present in the concrete, that will run through. Okay. Hello. Yes. So you have to fix it properly and you have it in the line also. Okay, then shuttering and the formwork is sufficiently braced. Braced means they are tying it very well. Okay, whatever the frame is, you are going to fix it. Okay, now the timber is nowadays the timber shuttering is replaced by the steel plates. In the centering work also you have seen the steel plates. Slab ला जे खालून अशा फिक्स केल्या जातात आणि ठोकल्या जातात बघा सेंटरिंग वाले, ठीक आहे. So that steel plates you can use in column work also, in beam work also. But for column and beam, today also we are preferring the wooden framework only. Okay, wooden plates वापरतात बघायला मिळेल तुम्हाला. So what this particular is reflecting is, there is one work we called it as RCC work. So for the RCC work, we are just describing whatever the things we require. What we are doing, we have described the activities which are being required for us. Okay, the specifications for the brickwork. Okay, the brickwork shall be of first class, regular in shape and size and color. The brick should be free from flaws, cracks, and lumps of any kind. ठीक आहे. या उदाहरणावर अजून तुमच्या लक्षात येईल स्पेसिफिकेशन म्हणजे काय. डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शन. आता बघा, स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ ब्रिकवर्क. तुम्ही ब्रिकवर्क करणार आहात, मग ब्रिकवर्क साठी काय एक्सप्लेनेशन तुम्ही इनपुट करताय. सो द ब्रिक शुड बी ऑफ फर्स्ट क्लास. It should be regular in shape, size, and the color. It should be free from all the flaws, cracks. The minimum crushing strength should be more than 11 MPa. Okay, that is MPa. then brick shall not absorb the water more than 1/6 of the weight of the brick. The sand shall be used of medium pores, clean, sharp, free from clay. So you are using the cement, you are doing the cement mortar, correct? For brickwork, you are using the cement mortar, maybe 1:3, 1:4 proportion. So again, in the case of brickwork, you require the cement, you require the sand. So what type of sand you require, what type of cement you require? So cement shall satisfy the requirements as per the Bureau of Indian Standard. Now you are getting what is the detailed description. Okay, now this is the best example to understand. Specification for brickwork, काय काय असू शकतं ब्रिकवर्क साठी, काय काय स्पेसिफिकेशन, म्हणजे डिटेल एक्सप्लेनेशन तुम्ही काय देणार आहात त्या ब्रिकवर्क साठी. त्या ब्रिकवर्क मध्ये ज्या तुम्ही ब्रिक्स यूज करणार आहात त्या फर्स्ट क्लास ब्रिक्स असल्या पाहिजेत, त्यांचा शेप आणि साईज ही रेग्युलर असली पाहिजे, त्याची क्रशिंग स्ट्रेंथ ही 10.5 MPa पेक्षा जास्त असली पाहिजे. ती जी काय ब्रिक तुम्ही वापरणार आहात इट इज फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल द डिफेक्ट्स. That brick should not absorb more than 1/6 of the weight of the brick. Generally for class 1 bricks, the percentage of water absorption should not be more than 20. Okay, for any kind of brick, for class 1 it is more than, it should not be more than 10%. Okay, then the mortar design is a specified proportion of cement and sand. That's a explanation later. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to explain this activity specifications. Okay, then methods of what are the measurements and units of civil construction work. Okay, I will just take this part. I think yes, methods of measurement of civil engineering works, that is with respect to IS 1200. There are 28 parts of that IS 1200. Okay, but before proceeding towards these methods of measurement, we are having 6 minutes in hand. So I will take few questions from your side if you have any doubt regarding the today's point. And we will start learning the SSR before starting the methods of measurement. Because if you know the SSR, then it will be easy for you to understand the concept, how this methods of measurements are, we are going to take it. So any questions, please unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat box. Any questions so that I can start with the SSR? If no question, I will share the new screen with everyone. Okay, whether my screen is visible, new screen. Okay, sure. So what you are going to see, this is nothing but the state schedule of rate for 21-22. 21-22. Now, what are the things we are going to discuss now? Please listen it very carefully. This is very important part. Every day you have to deal with this part. Okay, state schedule of rate. You must have the knowledge, being a civil engineer, about the SSR. Previously, we don't have SSR. We are using the DSR, that is district schedule of rates. Now here it is state schedule of rate. I think from 2018-19, might be from 2019-20, DSRs are replaced by the SSRs. But still, there are so many engineers, government agencies who are using this language of saying the word as DSR rather than saying as SSR. Okay, and again they are preferring the older DSRs also. Just they are adding the 10% cost every year in the previous DSR, but it is not the good practice. You must do your estimate. You must prepare your estimate only according to the rates which are given in your SSR. If you are interested to take any work, building construction work in future, also you please go through SSR only for 22-23 year, that is academic year 2022-23, you will get the new SSR. आता SSR नेमकं डाउनलोड कुठे करायचं? ठीक आहे. आता इथे सर दिसतोय आम्हाला SSR आहे, पण हा तुम्ही डाउनलोड कसा केला, हा SSR बद्दल आम्हाला कसं कळेल दरवर्षी, नेमकं हा SSR म्हणजे काय आहे. ठीक आहे, व्हॉट इज दिस SSR. एवढं वेळ झालं तुम्ही आम्हाला एक्सप्लेन करताय किंवा सांगताय हा शब्द. ठीक आहे. सो ऍट फर्स्ट आय विल टेल यू हाऊ टू डाउनलोड इट. ओके, अँड देन आय विल एक्सप्लेन व्हॉट इज द मिनिंग. You just type it SSR 2122 Maharashtra. Okay, there you will come to know two or three different websites. First is MJP, that is Maharashtra Jal Pradhikaran. Okay, we are not going with this MJP SSR. Okay, if you are doing some work that is carried out by the MJP only, okay, Maharashtra Jal Pradhikaran, then and then in the only you can refer the SSR which is given by them. Okay, which is given by them. But if you are doing the work of PWD or any other work, you will just visit the website of MahaPWD. You can visit the mahapwd.com, or you can visit this HTTP, that is dsr.emahapwd.com. So you just click here. Now here you can see view eDSR. As I told you previously, we don't have SSR. Okay, हे फक्त नाव बदललंय. वी डोंट हॅव द SSR, वी आर हॅव्हिंग द DSR. DSR स्टँड्स फॉर डिस्ट्रिक्ट शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट्स. म्हणजेच काय रे, तर पूर्वी कसं व्हायचं, आपल्याकडे वेगवेगळे जिल्हे आहेत, पुणे, मुंबई, नागपूर, औरंगाबाद, नाशिक. मग प्रत्येक रिजन मध्ये, म्हणजे पुणे रिजनचे मटेरियलचे रेट्स वेगळे असणार, मुंबई रिजनचे रेट्स वेगळे असणार, नागपूर रिजनचे रेट्स वेगळे असणार, तुमच्या नाशिक रिजनचे रेट्स वेगळे असणार. ठीक आहे. मग असं होत, रेट्स वेगळे म्हणजे काय फार डिफरन्स नव्हता, बट थोडंफार. सपोज सिमेंटची बॅग 280 रुपये आहे. ठीक आहे, इथे कुठतरी ती 282 असू शकते पुण्यामध्ये, मुंबईला ती कदाचित 285 रुपये असू शकते. थोडंफार व्हेरिएशन. ठीक आहे, मटेरियल रेट्स मध्ये. पूर्वी तसं होतं, म्हणजे पूर्वी प्रत्येक एरियानुसार आपण जसं आपला झोन असणार आहे त्यानुसार आपण हे करायचो, आपण DSR वापरायचो. जसं अहमदनगर, अकोला, अमरावती हे जे तुम्ही जिल्हे बघू शकता. ठीक आहे, पूर्वी ही पद्धत होती आपल्याकडे. आता आपण जे वापरतोय तर फक्त SSR वापरतोय, स्टेट शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट्स. ठीक आहे, हा स्टेट शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट आणि DSR मध्ये फरक काय, खूप सोपा फरक आहे. पूर्वीचा जो होता तो जिल्ह्यानुसार वेगवेगळा होता. आता जो आहे पूर्ण राज्यासाठी एकच आहे, त्याच्यामुळे त्याला स्टेट शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट असं म्हणतात. पूर्वी जो होता तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट होता, जिल्ह्यानुसार रेट होते. आता जे आहे ते स्टेट शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट आहे. ठीक आहे, मग इथे फक्त SSR टाका. इथे तुम्हाला कुठली कॉपी पाहिजे, 2021, 22 इथे तुम्ही टाकू शकता, किंवा इथे बघू शकता तुम्ही SSR 21-22, SSR 2021, अपडेटेड SSR 1920. याच्यावरती क्लिक केलं की लगेच तो SSR ओपन होतो. और यू कॅन जस्ट सिलेक्ट द इयर अँड यू कॅन शो द DSR ऑल्सो. ठीक आहे. सो दिस इज अगेन द वे दॅट यू कॅन गेट द SSR एव्हरी इयर. आताचा जो SSR असणार आहे हा 2021 चा आहे. ठीक आहे, आणि हा 2021 चा व्हॅलिड कुठपासून चालू होतोय, विथ इफेक्टिव्ह फ्रॉम 6th of August 2021. Dear students, less than a minute is left to conclude this session.